and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Roy. I am a home cook, an amateur baker, and I am here on this channel sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. Now today, I'm going to do back to basics, where I'm going to show some of the basic cooking preparations that you might not be aware of or might not be sure how to do. So today, what we're going to work on is mushrooms. Now, a lot of times, I will admit, I use canned mushrooms, but I do prefer fresh mushrooms. Don't be afraid of using fresh mushrooms because of the dirt on them or needing to brush them gently. You don't have to do any of that. We do want to clean them because mushrooms, I think we all know what mushrooms are grown in. Manure, if we can use a gentle term for it. And we are going to clean them off, but we are going to rinse them. We're not going to worry about dry cleaning, using a gentle brush. None of that. There's manure on here. We want to get rid of it. So follow me over to the sink and I will show you what I do. All right, so for cleaning off mushrooms, like I said, we're just going to do it under the water. And you don't want hot water. You want it cool. You want it to clean them. You don't want it to start cooking them. And you might want to turn down the strength a little bit so you don't get sprayed all over the place. But you just toss them around, clean them off as best you can. You're gonna clean them off afterward anyway, like wipe them a little bit. But they are not in the water long enough to, they're not in the water long enough to suck up any liquid, which is usually the claim that mushrooms are going to absorb all that liquid. No, especially not in a brief rinsing. And once you cook them, if you're cooking them right away, if you're not, I may not need all of these mushrooms. So I will, if I store them, I will wrap them up in paper towel and put them in a Ziploc bag. So that way they're not sitting in too much moisture for too long. But for a short time that we're going to be doing it to prep them, it's not a problem. So join me back over at the cutting board. Okay, so to prep these mushrooms, you can see the bottom is gotten brown here. So what I'm going to do is just cut those off of all of those before I move on to anything else. And I'm just gonna, I have a paper towel standing by to accept all of my discards. So we're just trimming off basically the bottom that's been exposed to a lot of air. And you don't have to watch me do all of these, so I will be right back. Okay, so the bottoms are all trimmed off. Now see here, there's a little bit of the dirt remaining, so we're just going to wipe that off. And if you see any that have a little bit of anything on them, just use your paper towel to just wipe it off. It'll easily come off, especially now that they're wet and slippery, apparently. Okay, those all look good. Let me get rid of paper towel and the sieve, and I will be right back to measure out some for a recipe. All right, so I only need a half cup of mushrooms, chopped mushrooms, for the recipe that I'm doing. What I'm going to show you first is how to slice them which is usually what you do before you chop them. And then I will show you how the chopping goes. Now, see this rather large fella here? Because it's so big, what I'm going to do is cut it in half this way. And then I can lay it down, and I'm just going to slice. Now, you can have your mushroom slices be slightly thick, because if you've cooked with mushrooms, because if you've cooked with, I was going to say real mushrooms, fresh mushrooms, you know they wilt down a lot. Maybe not as much as spinach, but so we're just slicing, making little slices. Most recipes, I would probably use them this way. Some recipes, you want them smaller because of their way they'll incorporate into the dish. So let me show you on one of these regular sized ones. I'm just going to put it up on its top because I don't want it to be moving around too much. And just slice through, and you have sliced mushrooms. Now to chop them, I'm going to stack these up, and I'm going to slice them again the other way, in the other direction, so that I have little long strips. And then we'll gather them all up. And I put my hand here to keep it stable. Also, keep your fingers inside the knife handle like this. Don't put your finger out like this. That gives you a little less stability when chopping or cutting, and more chance that you could cause a problem. So you keep your hand wrapped around like this with your thumb up at the top. And then just rock and chop. Actually, I think there might be a knife, one of those made for, not made for TV, I've seen on TV things called a rock and chop. I think I may have seen that. Anyway, if you see any big pieces when you think you're done, just run through them. And there you have chopped mushrooms. So now you know how to slice and chop the mushrooms. Now, I hope if this was informational for you, that you will give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for tips like this, as well as my weight loss recipes that I do chiefly on this channel. And comment down below if you eat mushrooms. I know somebody who does not, who shall remain nameless, and it's not Paul. But just leave a comment down below. Share this video if you think someone would like to learn a little tip like this. And follow me over on all the socials. They are linked down below. I have my Instagram, my Facebook group that I alone have, Recipes with Roy, and then I have one jointly with Jennifer Lynn from the Jennifer Lynn channel and Bree Coleman from Balancing Life with Bree. And we have Finding Our Way over there. So stop by any of those groups, stop by my Instagram, and go chop some mushrooms. Until next time, bye.